Hi everybody, it's John Moyer here in San Diego, and it's kind of a gloomy day today, which is actually a good thing because we're approaching our fire season that we commonly refer to in Southern California this time of year. In fact, this is my first time back to this block in Rancho Bernardo that was hit pretty hard in the fires 3 years ago. And this block that you see right here actually lost 4 of the 6 homes on the block. And you can see they're still rebuilding that one right there. And the progress on these other ones look to be all the way finished. And 3 years later, and it's quite a bit of, looks like a completely new neighborhood. I got the opportunity of speaking to one of the homeowners on the corner here and recorded a pretty remarkable story. And I'll play that for you right now and show you some of my photographs that I took 3 years ago on this very block.
One of our neighbors got a reverse 911 call. He came over and knocked on the door, the bedroom door of my wife and I, and he yelled, "Get out, get out, evacuate immediately." And we could tell when we opened the crack, the bedroom door, just a crack, there was a hot wind that blew in and very smoky. So I slammed the door shut and told my wife, we got to get out. And we ran around the house grabbing important tax papers, insurance papers, an insurance case that was fireproof, some important photos that we had, and went out to our garage, threw up the door, got into our Jeep Grand Cherokee and loaded it up and left our Honda CR-V behind. Sparks were falling down like rain from the sky. Chunks of wood were hitting the roof of our car, and flames were visible, big orange glow in the sky off to our right rear in the west. And it was just coming in. They call it the Santa Ana wind, which means the devil's wind. And it really was the devil's wind. So we escaped east through Rancho Bernardo onto Highway 15 and down and stayed in a hotel on Monday night. And then Tuesday we came back, and we were told Tuesday morning by our neighbor that a police officer had told her that there was nothing left on Paleto Court, and we were devastated. Her home was gone, and she had asked him about the status of her home, if he could check it out. He took his motorcycle down and checked it out, but came back with that bad news. So we were expecting our home to be gone. We then arranged for an appointment with the police department to have an escorted visit on Tuesday noontime into the devastated area. And as he led us in, we were coming down Cabela Road, Cabela Drive, and my wife screamed all of a sudden, "I see our fence, it's up." And sure enough, our fence was untouched, and then we saw the corner of our house, and then pretty soon, an instant later, our full house. And there it was. It was untouched. And our neighbor Chris's house was also untouched except for a little bit of charredness on a fence on the east side. Well, that next day, on Wednesday, I went back, and there's a little Taco Bell on the corner of Duenda and West Bernardo Drive, and a fire truck was there, Engine Company 112 from San Diego, and they were filling up their fire engine with water. And I went over to them. I didn't know who they were or anything else, and there was a young man there, 3 young men and a young woman, firefighters, and they looked grimy, they looked hot, they looked tired. And I said, "How long have you guys been, when's the last time you had some sleep?" They said, "Sunday night." And they've had only a few hours sleep since then. And they've been working the fire, and I asked them, I said, "Well, where were you?" He said, "Well, we were stationed in Westwood." And I said, "Wow." I said, "We were in the center of it." And he said, "Well, sir, where was your house?" And I said, "Well, we live on Paleto Court." And at that moment, he just stared at me and looked me straight in the eye, and he said, "Sir, we fought Paleto Court." And I said, "You're kidding." He said, "No." I said, "Well, what happened?" He said, "We lost 4 homes." And he was only interested in the fact that they had failed in saving 4 homes. I said, "But son, you saved 2. And one of them was mine." And then he gave me a big hug. And it makes it very difficult to even tell this story thinking about it. The following day, I tracked him down at the Rancho Bernardo Fire Truck Rescue Station and Coordination Zone, and went in and we thanked them profusely, got their names, and we're going to get together. Captain Jeff Mitchell plays golf, and we're going to get together. And I asked him, well, what was it like there? He said, well, we lost. There they are. There they are right now. Pull over. They just drove up. Hang on just a second. Come over here. Yeah. Guess what? This couple isn't headed east because we're photojournalists. They're going to team with me to do your story. I need some pictures, and I don't know what your time element is, but we got 5 minutes. I need some photos. Fire Engine 112 just came by as we were recording this. It was unbelievable. Captain Mitchell's coming back with his team after they take care of an electrical problem that they were dispatched to. But to finish the story, at Taco Bell, they said that they had defended Paleto Court, and I asked them what happened. They said, well, the flames were burning on 4 houses, and they were gone. And rather than take care of fire suppression, we now had to slip back into fire protection. 2 homes were yet unburned, so we formed a line in the cul-de-sac and tried to get water on the fire, but the hose streams, the water streams, were bending, 60 to 90 degrees away from the wind. It was so powerful. So we got things together and defended as best we could, and we saved the homes, and that's just part of our job. So none of these guys were particularly thinking themselves as heroes, etc., but they did have red faces, like they'd gotten a little too close to the flames because they couldn't get close enough with their fire hose stream. So that was the crew, and they saved Paleto Court. My neighbor Chris Swanson and I are eternally grateful to them. They put it on the line. They do it every day, these young men and women. And it was like it was part of their job, and they don't see themselves as heroes, but they're heroes in my book.
So as I've been walking through this neighborhood that was devastated with the fires 3 years ago, I've just been reminded of the hope that we have. I mean, 3 years ago, these people were thinking that their world had been totally turned upside down and probably lost so much, and the resiliency of the human spirit is that nothing can get us down, and that we can bounce back from anything. And I don't know, that's what I'm feeling in my heart today as I'm walking through this neighborhood, is that no matter how bad the situation is, there's light in the future, and you can bounce back from anything. And hopefully I can share that hope with anybody that's available to hear it. But you might be going through something terrible right now, but in a couple years you can look back and it'll be in the past, and there's always a future. I also just returned from a trip to Haiti, where they were just devastated by an earthquake earlier this year. And I just keep thinking, what if I were to go back a couple of years from now to Haiti, and how awesome it would be to see this kind of progress made there. They've got a whole lot more devastation to deal with than we did here, but I was there 8 months after the earthquake, and progress appeared to be very slow. But the resiliency of the human spirit is proven over and over that we can bounce back from anything. So I'm hopeful, and I dream of the day of returning back there and seeing a new country.